All right, gonna give the new GoPro a little test run here. Just got a new GoPro 10. Can't find our Hero 5, whatever it was. It's missing in our house, so got a new 10. So gonna give it a whirl today. Gonna do a hike at the north end of Alum Creek State Park, the lake, my normal place. And we are at the Howard Boat Ramp. Going to do a section of the horse trails. There are effectively four sections, but really I'd call it three. One loop that goes around the north end called Winterhawk, and then there's a southwestern section, which I did I think my very first video was the very south section of that one, and then that comes all the way up to here, and then we have this section I'm gonna do now. And for the life of me, I've done this trail dozens and dozens of times and I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but I will post it here in the video. Anyway, so give this a whirl and see how things go. All right, so trekking along here. One thing about these trails is, as I mentioned earlier, they're horse trails, and so their maintenance isn't the same as like a mountain bike trail or typical hiking trail. So lots of standing water that doesn't get sort of sorted out. Here you can see another area. I don't know how clear that comes through on video, but lots of standing water, so they don't build the trail to drain and fix drainage and that kind of stuff. And then what happens is these horses, it gets really muddy through a section, and horsemen just take it out around it. So similar to what we try to prevent on the mountain bike trails or even on hiking trails is sort of the widening of the trail, the rerouting, and the continued damage to the environment, you know, or broader damage, I guess. They just keep making the paths wider, and at some point maybe they do a reroute. You can probably see one or two of those around here. I'll try to find one and point it out. But early spring, it's usually pretty wet on some of these trails, and there are those wet spots. And then the other problem is unlike, you know, the mountain bike trails, the oh, this is a cool area. I like this area. I'll show you this. They do come out and ride these trails when they're wet, and especially like, you know, that freeze thaw cycles and stuff. They will come and ride them with their horses, and if they're certainly big horses, they do tear them up pretty good and rut them up, and then you know, it doesn't get smoothed out. So I mean, they're maintained, their purpose is for horses, so you know, I totally understand it, and it's not the same you know, same needs or desires for trail maintenance that the bikes and hikes trails are. So there's lots of these little cool stream crossings back in here. I love them. Made it dry. But yeah, so they do lots of these ravines. They do. One of the reasons I like hiking here is they do go down in and up and down these ravines, and sometimes steep. Certainly more steep than a mountain bike trail that you either ride or hike. But yeah, some hiking trails are similar to this. So there's some trees down. They do come in and clean out the trees and stuff like that. The horsemen do. They do maintain it, to, you know, for things like that. That especially low trees that come down and don't fall flat on the ground, they're kind of blocking the horse's path. They'll come in and cut those up. So anyway, keep trucking along.
reached the southern end here. I think they're calling this Wilson's place, but you can see their mounting block, a place to tie off horses, and picnic area here. So this actually wouldn't be a half bad place to maybe hike in and camp for the night. But that is Route 3637 down there, so can't really go any further without crossing that road. On the other side, there is a tunnel under the road, under 3637, on the horse trails on the other side. So I'll definitely hit that trail this summer at some point. But this has been tough going, really slick and muddy, leaves all over the trail in most places, having a hard time sort of locating the trail even right now. Yeah, here we go. The blue blazes are pretty prevalent, but there are times when you can't see the next one as you're walking. They do have some orange stripes in some tough areas, some orange tape hanging from trees, but even that I had some difficulty navigating. You'll probably see it on the GPS. I went the wrong way a couple of times. So this part of the trail doesn't get that much use. It's probably the least used of all the trails, I'm gonna guess, this last section, but still pretty cool. They did do a reroute of this a couple years ago because there were some down trees. So I don't know if I've passed that yet or not. I can't really tell. But gonna plug back, and it's a more direct route back. You'll see that on the GPS. So I don't know what I am, 6 miles in maybe now, something like that. All right. Well, I was wrong. Wilson's camp's over there. There is another little loop down here. Now I'm all the way down to 36, 37. There's the bridge. It's windy down here. Holy smokes! But yeah, I'm a little bit behind schedule of what I thought I would be. So I'm trying to pick up the pace and you know, keep it going. But aside from the traffic, these wouldn't be bad little places to do a little camp. Hike in and camp and hike out in the morning. Wouldn't be bad. But got the highway right there basically. So all right, well, keep plugging. All right, well, I just passed the intersection of the middle loop, so now I have the shortcut back to the front loop, and then there's a shortcut back on that as well to the parking lot. So oh, so much mud. Would recommend waiting till June, July before you really come out and hit these trails, unless you want to challenge yourself with the slick mud. I've only fallen once, and it was just barely got a finger muddy. Kind of turning to go up a steep hill, but should be back here shortly. I don't know what I am, like maybe 9 miles. We'll see what this ends up being. Yeah, see, I just cut off. That was literally, it's like, maybe 200 yards. The middle loop cut off. So you have all that distance on the middle loop. If you don't want to do it, but you want to go out to the far loop, you can just take that little cut through. So, yeah, I should be back maybe a couple more miles, 2 miles or so, I'm guessing. We are finishing up. Finally made it back. Nice little section down here to the road. This time of year you can see the parking lot. This is Howard Boat Ramp is also where you can launch kayaks. They have a little kayak launch. It's actually nice. There's you can do two, one on either side. It's nice to get in and out. You don't have to get wet. So, whew. Excellent hike. All right, well, just finishing up. Did manage my battery there. Didn't know how long it would last, and some of the reviews I've seen suggest you want to have 2 or 3 batteries if you're going to do any length of video. So definitely need to pick up a few spares and maybe even a battery pack that can plug right into the camera. So see how this edits down. We'll figure that out. Back to the boat ramp.